r/entitled-parents. Ep. Wake your kid so my boy can have her toy. Edited into paragraphs. Sorry for the initial text block guys. Note, I backquote am German so this is translated. This also happened a month back and I backquote am recalling the events. Long story, bear with me, you will be shaking your heads. I backquote am a 21-year female babysitter and I have this girl, let's call her Maya, whom I watch at least once a week plus whenever the parents ask me to help out. Maya is 8 now, and I started babysitting her when she was 4 months. Yes, I was 14 at the time. The family is great and Maya is a really easy kid. We are like sisters. I never owes my rate so keep in mind that I have been working for 1,50 euros, about $1.70 per hour for roughly 8 years, and could expect a 20 euros, $24 gift card for both my birthday and Christmas. I backquote am a babysitter for fun, not for money and I backquote am true to that. What I earn just about covers expenses. I have an actual job that's paying for my life after all. When Maya is with me for an entire Saturday, we go on day trips. She loves shopping and sightseeing, so I mostly take her around to bigger cities. This is where this story starts. We are on the bus on an hour drive to the next bigger city. Taking the car meant stress for me as I don't like driving, and the train was more expensive. Though both would have been a 30/40 minutes ride, Maya and I like to go by bus. This private bus company has perks. On this particular day I paid 10 euros, $12 for a return ticket. Maya being under 10 went for free. Plus they wait for you on the way back, but causing delays results in fees. Anyway, we are on the bus and per usual, I brought my old Nintendo DSi for her to play with. I can do whatever, she plays happily, it's a win. Until this entitled mom, M, and her 10-year boy come along. They take the seats right behind ours. No problem, right? Wrong. It doesn't take long for the boy to notice the console and the racing game Ma was somewhat fixed on. Boy to M, Mom, I want to play. M, well, go ahead. I thought he would like get our attention and ask nicely. Nope. The boy jumps up from his seat, reaches over my /Lean and tries to snatch the game from above. He gets hold of it for a moment, but the hand strap stops him. I made sure Maya's wrist was fine and the game not broken from the rough move, then I turn around, stopping the boy from another attempt. Me, young man, that wasn't nice. M, he just wants to play. Let him play too. Me, teach your child to ask properly, and I will consider. M, don't tell me how to parent. Kid. Boy, Mom, I want that game. M, in a minute, sweetie. Me, no, it's not yours, and I backquote am asking you to leave us alone. I sit back down, hoping to have heard the end of it. Way wrong. Maya backquote seat shakes a few times. The boy is kicking her seat. She asks him to stop. He continues. I warned the mom I would tell the drivers there are always 2 on 1 bus, just in case. M, he is bored. Give him the game, and he will stop. I immediately get up, quickly help Maya change into another row, then go to the front and explain the situation. When I hear Maya yelling, Maya, let go, I turn around. This boy has one hand on the game and the other pulling her hair. M is smirking in satisfaction as the boy rips the hand sling off Maya and returns into his seat, holding the game. I immediately storm at him and grab it back without a word. He starts crying and screaming loudly. I don't care. It's 8 AM. This was supposed to be a happy girl's day out. Now I had Maya in tears and a bratty son with his entitled mom on my hands. M, you give that back right now. My son was playing it. Bus driver comes to our rescue, practically pushed the woman and her son into the last row, asking us to take seats up front to separate us as far as possible. M was advised to use some common sense, that this was not her game, and thus not hers to decide over. I didn't quite listen anymore, but heard something from the lines of, M, my son only wanted to try the game. These girls were unfairly rude to him. I demand an apology. I hide my hand and give her the finger. Not that M could see. Maya snickers. Whoops. My bad. Maya saw. But Maya was already smiling and starting the game again. Fast forward to the end of a successful shopping spree. We were signed for the last bus back, 7 PM departure, and 10 minutes early. I'll let Maya choose the seats as per usual. Pretty much up front. There were 2 other couples waiting already and a third arriving with us. All seemed fine until the driver, I noticed it were the same drivers again, announced we couldn't leave. 2 people were missing, but they would call them to either hurry to the bus or decline their seats. It would just be a few more minutes. Or not. We had to wait for them. Company policy 7:35 PM. My nightmare comes true. Em and son walk up to the bus, not hurrying at all, ice cream cones in hand. No messy food on the bus. They have to finish outside. Again, not hurrying in any way. 7:45 PM. Head count. We can finally drive back. Everyone on board is annoyed by the delay. Em and son probably took the seats in the other Rileyette right behind us on purpose, but I wasn't going to say anything yet. Lesson learned, I hoped. Bus driver 2 was driving now. Driver 1, comes up to the mom. Em back quote am. Sorry to bother you, but you caused a 45 minutes delay, and according to our terms and conditions, the company will fine you for that. Em, fine me? What? For a few minutes? No way. I was told there would be a ride home waiting for us and that's it. I back quote Em sorry, but you knew that beforehand. It is in RTS and CS. Em, no one told me that. You agreed to it? Em back quote am. The company will mail you everything. I need your ID please. Em, no. I back quote am afraid I will have to involve police then. He goes back into his seat. The boy shows up next to me. Boy, I want that game. Me, I told you no this morning. It's still no. He pulls a sad face, but goes back to his mom. It's semi-dark outside. Maya is lying spread over her seat in my lap. Not that I cared. She was tired, and I expected her to fall asleep while playing. And she did, face buried in my jacket, that she had folded like a pillow on my lap. I turned the game off, but with a sling on Maya's wrist, I can't put it away. Em suddenly hovers above me. Em, she is done playing. Me, so. Em, my son can play now. Me, no, he can't. It's my game. Em, come on, just give it to him. He wants it, and you are too old for it anyway. Me, I don't care, it's my game. I said no, so please leave me alone now. Em, what gives you the right? She's practically yelling. I back quote Em worried she might wake Maya, and that I could end up with a cranky tired child. Me, I own it. Do me a favor and on back quote T wake her. Em, she is asleep, she doesn't need the game now. Me, Em back quote am. The game is tied to her wrist. I would have to wake her to get it, and in any way, I would be playing then. Not your son. It is my game, and if I have to tell you again, I will ask the drivers for help. You know I back quote lines do it. Driver 1 turns around to us, giving her a stern look. I figured he was listening. Em and son moved a few rows back. I thought she was defeated. Again I was wrong. A few minutes later, I was occupied with my phone, texting back and forth with a friend. I wasn't paying attention to anything else, but watching Maya didn't fall off the seats whenever she moved. I didn't think much of the tiny hand on my leg at first, since Maya's left arm was somewhere around there. Then Maya shoots up with an eardrum shattering scream. I nearly dropped my phone in shock. There is the boy right between my legs. He had crawled up under our seats from behind, to come up and probably try to snatch the game. That was his hand on my leg, and Maya had woken up to him staring right into her face mere centimeters away. The driver was cool enough not to cause an accident due to the scream, but stopped the bus as soon as he could. Both drivers were furious. The boy was crying, Emma screaming at Maya, and I for making him cry. All while I back quote him unable to grasp the situation for a moment, holding the shaking AGO. A man from the other couples gets up and manages to somehow silence the situation entirely. Em, this selfish girl scared my baby. She purposely screamed right into his face. Em back quote am, why was your son underneath her seat? Em, I want this girl off the bus now. DT, driver 2, Em back quote am please answer the question. Why wasn't your son seated? Em, he is a good child, he can do whatever he wants. Boy in tears, I want the game, mommy. Em towards me, you owe my child that game now. BI*CH. I ignored the insult. I had to calm Maya, trying not to explode in anger myself. I was so mad, I wanted to punch something. The boy tried to reach for the game again. I had had it with him. Admittedly, I didn't want to push him away as hard as I did, and I know I shouldn't have pushed him back at all, but since he only fell against his mother, I couldn't have cared less. I got up, face bright red, taking deep breaths as to not completely losing it. Me, you listen here kid, don't you dare to touch us, or our game again. You hurt my baby. Me, you better be glad he is underage. Otherwise he will be facing charges now. Multiple attempts to steal my game, for starters. And the way he crawled up beneath us, I could probably make a sexual assault out of that. Also, Child Protective Services would be very interested to learn you even encouraged your son. Yes, I could have done that with him underage, but let's be honest, he was probably the victim of this woman's miserable parental guidance. And I wasn't going to ruin his life more, though then and there I very much wanted to. You have no right to talk to me like that. Your brat made my baby cry. You owe him that game now. He deserves it. He is a good kid. She wanted to get past me herself now. Behind me, Maya still had the game. I didn't care for the game itself anymore, but she would probably hurt Maya trying to take it. Now, I am 5 feet 9 inches and roughly 70 kilograms. I'm one straight noodle and I really don't look like much. But I am the only girl on an all-male rugby team. I take on guys bigger and older than her. And Maya knows that. She has seen me play. Maya, do your trick. My trick. I can throw people over out of a stand pretty bad. That's my standard move. But I couldn't do that now. I had already overreacted pushing the boy. Both drivers and the man held the woman back. She was screaming and trashing around, throwing punches and insults all over while demanding I gave her son that game. The two other men came to help taming her. It took a while, until she gave in and sat down. Finally, I thought once more, we could get home. I had already told Maya's mom that we would be back late due to delay, but nothing more since our departure. So I have Maya huddled over the seats again, shaking, but sunken into the game again, and I take my phone out to let her mom know we will be even later. That's when I hear M whisper into her phone. She is obviously telling police some story about a stolen toy, child abuse, being threatened and cornered by several men, and being too scared to ask for an early drop-off somewhere around. She was absolutely exaggerating and presenting her own twisted version of the story. I asked Maya to let me up, and I go to tell the drivers. They looked mortified to say the least, and contacted police and their office themselves as well. Now I had to type that out for Maya's mom as short as possible. I didn't want her to freak about police at the drop-off, since she was coming to pick us up. Fast forward 45 minutes later. 8 cops are waiting for us, an ambulance, Maya's mom who seemed to have introduced herself to police already along with some elderly man, who was there to pick up one of the couples. Maya is happy again, which I was overly thankful for. I was scared dead for this to have some traumatic impact on her. It could have been partly my fault for exploding. She had never really been in trouble, hence had never seen me mad. Maya runs up to her mom. I follow with our shopping bag. M and son are questioned separately in the ambulance. The rest of us has to answer questions as well. The drivers back us up with the bus surveillance cameras. M is busted. Both she and her child are banned to ride with the company. She faces charged for a handful of things, encouraging her son to theft, false accusations and attacking me among them. At home, Maya proudly presented her new fabrics. I have a sewing machine which we work on rainy days, and shirts. All within the shopping money her mom gave her for the day. I pay for myself. In the end I got off with a warning for pushing the boy, impressed charges that were dropped due to the circumstances. The judge figured I was protecting Maya and my property in a heated situation, and that the boy s prior actions had made it necessary for me to step in. M was fined for the entire delay she and her son had caused, 1 HR 18 minutes in total, was ordered to accept family assistance, and Child Protective Services were to look over the family situation as well. Maya wasn't affected in any way. Maya's mother was quite understanding and doubled my Christmas gift card. I guess it was somewhat an apology or a thanks. She said it was because I risked charges to protect her daughter and taught her to stand up and be strong. This weekend, we went on another trip. Boarding the bus heading out, I see a boy in line who looks oddly familiar, but the man at his side doesn't. I forget about it. We drive off. Maya smiles widely as I pull the DSi game from my handbag. 2 minutes later, the boy. The F*ing boy. Boy, give me that. Me, unsure if it really is him. How do you ask for things that aren't yours, young man? Boy, I want that game. Now. Me, no, sorry. Too rude. Go mind your manners please. Boy, dad. She won't give it to me again. This bulky man gets up from his seat. To my luck, one of the drivers is driver 2 from the month before. He recognizes the boy and me. DT, young man, I need to see your ID please. Where is your parent? Father, my son only asked to try the game, sir. DT, yep. That's why he got banned last month. You have to get off this bus or I will have to call the police. Father, I bought tickets for this. I have the right to drive. Police was called straight away. We stopped. The father got arrested for resisting police and fraud. Turns out both he and his son had signed in under fake names. Also his son was 11 yo by now and needed a ticket, but was signed as 10 yo and didn't have one. Driver 2 came to me to apologize and see how we were doing. I told him no apology was necessary. I wasn't sure about the boy myself first. I thanked him for resolving the situation immediately. There were a few more kids on the bus this time and Maya took over the last row with 3 other kids, sharing the game, taking turns. They had no trouble at all the entire ride through, and I exchanged contacts with their parents. We are going to meet up in a fun house next week. Friends were made. That's how easy it can be. Honestly though, even on the second ride, had the boy asked nicely, I would have left the choice to Maya, whether or not she wanted to share. After all, it could have been an opportunity to make a friend and people deserve second chances, if you ask me. But no. They felt like he had the right to have my game, because he simply wanted it. He was rude. The parents were worse. I have no bad feelings for getting them kicked off the bus. However, I feel bad for the boy. It wasn't exactly his fault if he didn't know better. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you tomorrow.